With the help of some completely broken tuning physics, the brand new Toyota Hiace van can be tuned to over 1,200 horsepower for a 600 pp race. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, but it's actually much better than you would expect. Stay tuned and I'll show you exactly how to build it. Hello everybody, KCR-Mark here. Welcome back to another Gran Turismo 7 tuning video. Now I'm sure I wasn't alone in rolling my eyes slightly when the new update 1.51 cars were released, and then it was a Toyota Hiace van. With this new update we were treated to 10 new engine swaps. Amongst them, the Toyota Hiace would get the hugely powerful BRZ LS7 drift engine. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, the tuning seems to be completely broken on this particular van, and it allows you to fully tune the engine to 1,232 brake horsepower and still go well below 600 pp. But I have a bit of a theory on this, just indulge me for a second. Now obviously the developers PD want people playing this game, that's how they make all their revenue, and I think their analytics have probably shown that when there's a glitch build about, a lot more people are playing, whether it be the Tomahawk build or the AFK build we had a couple of months ago. So I think it's not impossible to suspect that this is a very deliberate glitch build by Gran Turismo. It's just way below 600 pp. It's ridiculously overpowered for the race, and I don't think that they've done that by accident. They're very clever people. So let's get straight into it. I'll show you exactly how to build the danger van, as I'm going to be calling it. So the car is available from the Toyota dealership. It's not an expensive van, 25,000 credits. It's available at all times from Brand Central. Onto that we're going to add the wide body kit, which is 25,000 credits, and the aforementioned LS7 V8 engine at 300,000 credits. So onto car customization, we're going to fit whichever wheel design you prefer, wide width and wide offset. For the aero parts we're going to be using a Type B front bumper spoiler, we're using Type B side skirts, Type B rear bumper diffuser arrangement, whatever that is on the back, and a Type B rear wing, which despite its meek looks produces quite an abnormal amount of downforce. We're also going to be fitting a Type C roll cage just to stiffen up the van a little bit. Just before we move on, just a quick tip here: if you are going to be adding your own custom livery, of which are many cool ones for this van, just be careful on the aero parts. As you can see, I've just added a different livery here to the same van, and if we go back to the custom parts, you can see it's changed the aero of the van, so just go back and double check that. It will affect the tune otherwise. So next we're going to head over to the car customization, the tuning parts that you need. I'll highlight the ones that you need for this build. So we want stage 1 weight reduction and sports hard tyres, stage 2 weight reduction, fully customized computer, I think that might come with the engine swap anyway, high RPM turbo, fully customized LSD, weight reduction 3, increased body rigidity, racing silencer, again I think that comes with the engine swap. We definitely need brakes, racing brakes and discs, fully customized suspension, brake balance controller, racing clutch and flywheel, fully customized suspension, and that's pretty much all you need. Now if you have got this unlocked, you can try the ultra high RPM turbo. It adds a little bit more horsepower, but we've got plenty as it is, as you'll see. So next we're going to head on to the tuning sheet itself. Now this van had one major issue as standard, and it's not what I expected. I expected it to be very oversteery and just too much power, but the main problem was the complete instability under braking. It just used to squat down at the front, the back end used to go light, it was just a mess. So I spent quite a while getting this tune right. We've got a lot of anti-roll bar on the front. Natural frequency is very high at the front as well, just to stop that squatting down under braking. The diff has been played with to get it nice and stable, so we've got quite a lot of braking sensitivity. So it's basically when you're full on the brakes, it's locking up the back LSD, so it just makes it much more manageable and quite stable under brakes now. It's much better. So moving on, and the ratios on the racing transmission seem fine as standard, so we've just adjusted the top speed to suit. We're going to be using full downforce on the rear, 150 on the front. That's just to try and pin down that back end a little bit more. Just to note that the revs do drop a little bit right at the top of the rev range, so this is a van that's worth short shifting slightly. Brake control I was using on -2. It just shifts the weight to the front a bit more and just preserves those rear tyres a little bit. So with the van all fully built and ready to race, we can head to track. We're going to the Tokyo Expressway for the World Touring Car 600 race. So if we head into the race, first thing I would advise doing is getting the traction control onto 2, even if it's just for the first couple of laps where the track is wettest, because this van is obviously an absolute maniac. And you can see just the ferocious speed of this thing off the line. It is absolutely epic. Tops out at nearly 220 miles an hour down the straight, and by the first corner you'll have just breezed past the whole field. Such is the pace of this van. Now, of course, a build like this is going to be mainly aimed at the top speed with so much power, but you need something that's decent around the corners, and this is more than decent. It's actually quite good around the infield section. You can carry massive amounts of speed. It's very predictable, really stable with setup. A little bit oversteery, but it's nothing that's unmanageable. It's very forgiving, and it's really good fun to drive. It's just an absolute beast, and really good fun to drive. You can carry huge amounts of speed, and the lap times you can get out of this thing are absolutely unbelievable. I won't go too much into the driving of this. I'm more going to go into the strategy during the race. If you're more interested in seeing the lap, maybe you want some braking markers or need to know what gears you're in, I'm going to do a full unedited run of the fastest lap at the end of the video for people that want to see that. I quite often get asked for lap guides, and they're a little bit clunky to add into the race itself, so I've added it at the end if you wish to watch that. So in terms of strategy for this race, there's a couple of different options. The one I personally used was a 2-stop strategy. That's using fuel map 1 on full power. You just need to stop twice, lap 4 and lap 8. You can also go for a 1-stop strategy. To do this, just go onto fuel map 6, and you can just about eke out 6 laps, which will slice the race in half, so you just need to pit the once. You might be a little bit compromised on tyres doing it that way. You can always use sports hard tyres if you want to do a 1-stop strategy. There's lots of different options with this van, with it having so much PP to play with. You can do all sorts of things. You can even do sports soft tyres if you prefer that way, and try a 2-stop strategy. There's lots and lots of different ways, just whichever you prefer really. I've had a bit of a play around, and I personally preferred the 2-stop strategy, and it also gave me the opportunity to try and get the fastest laps I could with the van as well. So heading on to the final lap, and even with that 2 pit stop strategy, as you can see, a pretty commanding victory. This van is just an absolute monster. Fastest lap of 1:59.7. That's a non-wall ride lap. The full unedited version of that is at the end of this video if you care to watch that. I'm sure some of the wall ride aficionados will be able to knock about 5 or 6 seconds off that lap. So it's a truly impressive van to drive, and with that clean race bonus, you're going to get yourself 825,000 credits, so that equates to 1.65 million in about 50 minutes. So as always, a massive thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed that tune and have fun with this van. It's an absolute monster. Let me know how you get on in the comments. I really do appreciate and love reading all the feedback I get. Many thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers, bye.